This is the court case of Texas v. Johnson in 1989.
In 1984, Gregory Lee Johnson participated in a protest of the Republican National Convention outside of the Dallas City Hall. Johnson doused an American flag with kerosene and set it on fire. He used the act of flag burning to express his dissatisfaction with the government's actions. As the flag burned, protesters chanted, "America the red, white, and blue, we spit on you." Johnson was charged with desecration of a venerated object under Texas law. The trial court convicted Johnson, fining him $2,000 and sentencing him to 1 year in prison. What was Johnson trying to convey when he burned the American flag in front of the Dallas City Hall?
Within the Texas statute or law, it was illegal to burn objects that held high value and respect, like the American flag. They presented two arguments from the state's law justifying the previous guilty conviction of Johnson. First, stating that such action has the potential to offend an audience that can cause a breach of peace. Just like how yelling fire in a movie theater can cause a cascade of numerous individuals to get hurt due to a collective sense of panic, burning the American flag can cause a cascade of riots and physical disruptions to occur due to a collective sense of offense. Second, the state argued that the American flag was a symbol of national unity and nationhood. Therefore, when an object is allowed and permitted to be treated in a condescending manner, it communicates to the American people that the American flag, representing the nation, essentially holds no respect or value to the country.
Johnson's main defense centered around the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of speech, including symbolic speech like flag burning. His argument was that his actions were a form of political expression meant to convey a specific message. While many found his protest offensive, Johnson argued that the government cannot restrict speech simply because it is unpopular or controversial. He also emphasized that his actions did not incite violence or pose any real threat to public safety, meaning there was no legitimate reason to limit his right to protest in this way.
Does burning the flag constitute as symbolic speech protected by the First Amendment?
In a close 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Johnson, reinforcing that flag burning is protected as a form of free speech under the First Amendment. The court determined that Texas law was unconstitutional because it punished a form of political expression which goes against the core principles of free speech. The ruling also set an important precedent that just because speech is offensive to some does not mean the government can ban it. If the court had ruled otherwise, it could have opened the door to further restrict other forms of protest and expression. What are the potential consequences of allowing or restricting offensive symbolic speech?
The significance of this court case expanded the power the First Amendment held to the nation and the liberties of the people. The Supreme Court did not find Johnson guilty as they decided states cannot merely assume a type of expressive conduct will cause a breach of peace. They clarified that individuals could not be arrested just because it offended an audience, and Johnson's arrest was a suppression of expression practiced by the Texas government. The court case protects most symbolic speech as it still uses the precedent of limited speech from Schenck v. U.S. The context of the situation heavily matters, as if speech or expressive language is used in forms of protest and to send a political message, like Johnson's, then it is protected by the First Amendment. Using Schenck v. US and now Texas v. Johnson, do you think if someone burned an ethnic flag to show resentment against a certain racial group, but justified it through the means of it being protesting, should it be protected under the First Amendment or seen as a threat?
feel about the Reagan administration. Let's go! Excuse me, sir. How do you feel about Reagan administration and the Republican National Convention being held here?
Who's Reagan again, young man?
He's running for president again.
I mean, president, I guess I like him. His name starts with an R, and as you all know, R is for Republican. Woo!
Thank you, sir.
See all my little golden fishes. Have some food. Eat, become fat and juicy.
Excuse me. How do you feel about the Reagan administration?
Reagan administration, well, they're running again, and I'm voting for them. You see my American flag right here? The Republican National Convention is happening here in Dallas, Texas. We should be proud. This is true patriotism, especially in times of the Cold War. We don't need no communists here. We don't need none of that red scare type of stuff. Reagan will make America proud. USA!
Thank you.
Hello there, young miss. How can I help you?
I heard that you're against the Reagan administration. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Of course. Come on in.
Thank you.
Over there is my friend Bob. He helped me prepare for the protest.
And what are you doing to prepare for the protest?
I'm planning on burning the American flag, as you can see over there.
And why don't you like Reagan's administration?
That means gonna be the death of America and its growth. Spending all that money in defense that we don't need. It's now time for us to take action and to show people what's really need to be done for America.
Yeah!
Thank you for that. And we'll keep you guys updated on what comes next.
Steve Reagan! What do you think you're doing? This is illegal activity. What do you think you're doing?
I'm just an interviewer.
Interviewing for what? Communism? Stop the recording.
Sorry guys, I had to stop recording because it was getting way too violent, and unfortunately I could not interview Johnson because he was sentenced to 1 year of jail time.
5 years later.
How confident do you feel about the outcome of this court case?
I mean, pretty confident. I don't even know why it's back to the Supreme Court. I understand I was a little violent 5 years ago, but I think that's true patriotism. This deserves an end, and a good end is with Johnson in jail forever.
Pretty confident. I mean, this is the First Amendment where we're talking about, and me and my people know what our rights are. There's no way that little Texan little miss is gonna win this case. It's America for real.
And the court decides 5-4 in favor of Johnson.
How do you think this will affect the future of America?
This is the end of America. United States, more like United States.
Our people can finally freely express themselves. This is the first step to a better America. This is the brightest America's ever been in my generation. Thank you.
And that's it guys. Thank you guys for watching this video, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more future content.
Recorded.
Offensive side eye, bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye.